My name is John Mallmeister. I'm 21 years old and I've been out for a little over 8 months.
Hi, I'm James Warmack. Grew up on the near west side, Cleveland, Clark Fulton area.
I was 14 when I first was in the court system. I was 16 when I first got adjudicated for my first charge. That's when I first met Christ or heard about the salvation prayer. And I say heard about the salvation prayer because that's what a lot of people do when they come to institutions, is they tell you the salvation prayer and then you don't ever see them again.
I mean, it was rough, growing up, with my mom off and on drugs, in and out of foster care. And as I was in that foster care system, I started to forget what my mother's face looked like. You start to forget what your real family looks like.
I met Cap and Peggy on intake when I first came to the Hills, and that was kind of my first exposure of like a love for Christ pouring out into a love for others. You're in this place where you can feel the tension, you can feel the evil in this place, and you see these people come in. They're being goofy and they just had a really good time, and you could feel that they wanted to be there for us.
Eventually my mom got sober. We're back with her. At 13, I was still screwing up, smoking weed and running the streets. So she forced me to go to a club at with YFC. As I continued to go, and make friends and get to know the leaders like Jeff Thompson and Carl Buzzard, Johnny Fine. These guys were people that I wanted to be around these people. They were actually there. They cared.
The kids are pretty lonely. They won't admit it, most of them, but they don't really know what it's like to have proper love. A lot of them didn't have that at home, and the only way they experienced it was in a gang, but that's not real love.
Yeah, so one year they cared enough to ship me out of state to Colorado to a camp out there. The energy there was just fantastic. It was unbelievable. One night we were at a campfire. They were talking to us individually about Christ and about our lives, and it didn't get real to me until that night. There were some gang members. They were, deep in gang banging and whatever else. I saw Christ break them down in a way I'd never seen before. I don't know. I kind of thought to myself, if he can do it for them, he can do it for me. It was amazing. And I mean, the next day I gave my life to Christ.
It was definitely profound, because a lot of times you'd see people come into institution, you never see them again, but you didn't see that with Cap and Peggy. They'd keep coming back and they'd keep building a relationship with us.
That's when YFC got real for me. Before it was the clubs and going to McDonald's and friends and girls. But after camp, that's when Jesus, the Jesus part of it, got really real to me.
Being able to build my relationship in Christ and strengthen my foundation in Christ was exactly what I needed. And being able to come here really to the Hills, as much as I didn't like it and didn't want it, it was what I needed, because God knew I needed people like Cap and Peggy in my life to help me further that relationship.
Carl Buzzard would pick us up all the time. That guy had patience, because we'd stall him on purpose, and he would just sit out there and wait for us. And that, dude, I'd never seen that kind of love before.
I think having people come in to walk with us and help us in faith is probably the most profound and effective thing that you can have in there. It makes a huge impact.
Over the years, I've been homeless. I've been addicted to many drugs other than weed. Life's been rough in the last few years, but the last 3 to 4 years, the Lord's brought me back. I'm in church because I want to be there and because I want to know more about Jesus. I'm in church because I want to be. YFC really implanted that. That it started there. It all started there.
To me, it doesn't seem worth it to go back and change it, even if I had to get rid of all those hardships, all those times that were so rough, but not become the man that God made me today. I wouldn't change a thing. I would keep things the way they are because I met Christ and I let him shape my life. So it definitely is the way I want it to go, and the way I still want to go.
Yeah, so I want to thank all the supporters who brought Youth for Christ to my neighborhood. You were a huge part of my childhood, of my growing up, of my adulthood. You know, I encourage other people to get involved, to donate, to pray, however you can. People in the city need to know that people care. YFC cares.